guess it was entertaining enough to have people check it out, so appreciate it. I'll keep trying to stay in that same vein. And today, the parade of guests do not stop. This guy that I'm about to bring on for us, you don't always meet people that you get along with in life. Sometimes you interact with individuals and you know how far you're going to go with them. Maybe it's only 5 minutes, maybe it's 5 days, maybe you get 5 years out of a motherfucker and then it's time to cut the cord. But once in a while, you meet somebody who you don't mind having around, who actually knows how to have a conversation with you, doesn't seem to be too caught up in the dumb shit. And this guy is a perfect example of that. He's from the South, tearing it up in New Orleans, which is where I met him during last year's Skankfest, which was a blast, and as you know, I will be at this year's Skankfest as well. Please make sure that you go purchase some tickets if you haven't already. You don't want to miss out. After last year making it really good off the cuff, think about how much better this Skankfest is going to be with all the preparation going into the venue. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the man of the hour, the snake charmer himself, Shane. My brother, welcome to the show. How you doing today, man?
Hey, Rob, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. Say hello to everybody, the 200 people from last time, the new 50 people that we're going to have listening to this one.
That's all I want to do is a slow little snowball build. We'll get there eventually, and you know, I've done numbers before. It's nothing for me to creep up to 100K on a video or something, but that's not what this is really about. This show means a lot more to me than anything else I've done before, because it's one thing to have your finger on the pulse and feel a heartbeat. It's something else entirely to take a chance and see what you can get out of it. So
that's right,
man. Just fucking around, you know. But yeah, I really got, I don't know, I got a good vibe from you when we were working the venue, because everybody else that was there, they didn't really do shit, man. And I'm not trying to come down on anybody specifically. That's why I'm painting with a broad brush. But you can ask some of the event organizers higher at the top. People were just not showing up for their shifts, even though they had committed to it. It was like all they did was show up to get their badge and then bounce the fuck out so that they wouldn't have any trouble. And if you're pretty much an unknown in the crowd, nobody is going to know how to look for you to say, hey, you're not working, so you're out of this venue. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. So, I don't know. You were like the main dude who was actually present. They had you do a lot of the shit that needed to be done, having people in secure locations so that shit didn't go down. And even then, you and I are only 2 people, so we can't be everywhere at once. And I know on Sunday, a bunch of people ran off with some of the Skankfest posters and shit. Lewis and Christine were not happy about that. But that's just par for the course, right? You're fucking with the Legion. I couldn't let that happen to you again. I appreciate you acknowledging that, but yeah, brother, you were not about to stand there again, and I had already done the Saturday jam, so I'm glad that you had something important to fucking rock with on Sunday and feel a part of the fest in a major way, because nobody else, like I said, there weren't a lot of people who were making sure they were there and taking care of shit. I got to see people come in for like an hour and then just bounce out, and then people who were there just, again, for the first couple hours to get the shit. I saw them all venue. I didn't snitch them out. I'm not here to get you in trouble and make you look bad, but you're fucking yourself over, dumbass. You're never going to be able to come back to the event like this, and good luck paying $700 now for a 3-day or scalper prices if you don't get it in time.
Yeah, yeah, it was just a great event. Yeah, sorry, I just sparked this up right before we started and everything.
That's the way it should be. I'm puffing on a bowl right now. Absolutely. Got to get the oven
Yeah,
cooking, man. Popeye needs a spinach.
yeah. We had two people that I first responded to that one of them was having a seizure and somebody came running outside of the main hall and asked where the paramedics were at. I ran and grabbed them. They had already heard about the scene and were getting the gurney ready. I let them know I knew where the person was at because I had the first person that notified me they needed EMTs. I said, "Where's the person at?" They ran me to the person. At that point, I ran to the EMTs. The EMTs asked me, I said, "What's that music? This they could play the whole time." And it's pretty cool. And so yeah, so I run back to them and I'm like, somebody's having a seizure. They're like, "We already know about it." I said, "Well, I know where they're at, and I know there's two routes there. I know the fastest route." So they followed me. Was through the water area, through the bathroom area instead of going around around the tent where everybody was at. So I cut them right through to where the person was at. At that point, they weren't seasoned anymore. They were sitting up and coherent, and they got them on the ground and got them out. Yeah, that was the one. And then the next day,
That shit's scary to see, dude. When somebody's seasoned out, a lot of people have never seen some shit like that, and
yeah,
the first time you see it, it kind of freaks you out because you're like, what the fuck is this person shaking for like they're possessed? And no, they're just having a bad reaction to something. And sometimes people don't even know that they're gonna seize, dude. They go their whole lives walking around, everything's fine. And then you end up at Skankfest and the noise and the lights, and you're on the fucking ground tweaking like you're a fucking fent head. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I have, and that's what I wanted to say. The goddamn comedy jam, the 30 years of mosh pit experience is what helped me guard those cameras. The hardest part of that duty was not moshing with the people and just like getting the foam noodles out from underneath the feet and trying to clear the area so people didn't fall in front of me, and then
take their jaw into the concrete.
But it wasn't. Yeah, nobody was falling. It was good.
You know how happy I was about that too, like the relief that came over me, because I like people, man. I don't want anybody to get fucked up. Like when something happens to somebody, sometimes it's funny, but I don't want to see somebody slip on a noodle and then they're 1 second laughing, mouth open, and now their entire top of their jaw is gone because they face planted into the concrete, and they never planned for that. That wasn't a part of the deal that they had made with themselves when they decided to show up and get shitty and have a good time. But now you're walking around and you need dentures. And that's fucked up, and that didn't happen. Nobody went over the fucking rails, because I know that was another thing everybody was really concerned about, was people going to look at the river and then falling over.
In the water, like literally over the rails.
I had to get an attitude with one guy. I didn't want to get tough with him, but there was some guy with a girl on the other side of the shit, and they were 2 footsteps away, and I was like, brother, I get it. It's beautiful, and I know, but I can't let you stand there with her. I'll get in trouble. I don't want that to happen, and if other people see you, they're gonna think they can do it. So I gotta have you come back on this side. Don't let me take it to the next step. I don't want to bring people over here and fuck with your experience. You just can't do this. There's rules here. Like, nobody gets mad when you're like, hey, don't go up on the stage with the other performers, right? So why are you getting mad that there's another thing you can't do at this venue when there's so much shit you can do? There's people literally popping off in the bathrooms, blah, 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 and you're out here in public trying to ruin your night because you need to go past the rail and be a little more spooky? Nah, I don't think so. Just chill the fuck out. Go back inside and have a good time instead of trying to fuck up your experience. I mean, just the amount of dumb shit that was happening, and then we didn't have any safety problems. Which,
we had none.
It made sense why we weren't letting people come up on that second floor area. But I don't know if you, remember. I might have mentioned it to you during then, but so much had happened, Shane. It's like there's no way we can remember every fucking detail of everything. But on Sunday, I made sure that anybody who was ADA, they could go up on the second floor with all the other staff and the VIPs, just because I thought that they deserved something like that. You know, we were already looking for unique ways to take care of people that had canes or in a wheelchair and whatnot. So
Yeah.
here's kind of an intimate experience to give these folks where you may not necessarily be VIP, but Rebecca thought it was a great idea. Christine approved it. And I felt seen in that moment where I just made a suggestion casually because, you know, we talked about this a little bit during the pre-show. I won't bleed too much of that into here. I'd rather you introduce your own shit. But there's an aspect of when you get to be a host at events and you get to have grace with people and you see how warm they feel because you've done something. It was nice that I could have an opportunity to say, hey, since we're trying to get these folks away from the crowd and give them a different, more unique experience, why don't we just let them upstairs? I'm sure that somebody in a wheelchair isn't going to bother Dave Attell or Sam Talent. They're just going to be up there, and if somebody approaches them, that's different. That'll be a fun story for them.
So two of my most profound experiences from Skankfest were one when I was going to buy a shirt. I was going to buy some merch, but I had my volunteer shirt on, and who I now know as my brother Pinky, didn't know the guy
Shout
at
out
the time.
Pinky.
Comes walking this other gentleman who shall name nameless, needed a little assistance, and Pinky let me know that the gentleman needed the EMTs. He had just had a little too much substances, so I immediately start walking both of them. Me and Pinky are supporting the guy, and we got him and we're walking him. And, I'm just talking to him about, what he's been having. And, I'm trying to figure out as we're walking how quickly we need to walk him, if what. And he had taken enough that if he had started seizing out at that moment, me and Pinky would have just carried him the 200 feet, 300 feet to the medic that he needed to go. But we didn't have to. He was able to walk
He was
there.
holding it together.
He held it together.
Nice.
We walked him to the medics, and they got him to the hospital, and they took care of him. And that was one. And then the other one was pretty comical, and I used my customer service skills, my 20 plus years working in casinos, to help this gentleman have a better Skankfest. And so what had happened was, there's a couple of us that down there watched the entrance area, and this guy comes up and he's complaining, and I've seen him get past. He's complaining to two people now about how there's not water at the hand washing station, and he's just going off, and he's so upset, and people just don't know how to handle him. So I took it personal. And I was like, sir, come with me. Let me see what's going on and how I can help you and make this a better experience.
Which props to you, because nobody else was doing that for some reason.
They didn't know what to do.
Glad you knew how to fucking handle that.
Wait till you hear the story. So this guy, we're walking. Now, keep in mind, I had just went by that area, the hand washing bathroom station, and seen that people because that was contracted out by a third party. That wasn't Skankfest or their volunteers or their staff. That was the New Orleans Sanitation Department by Brian or whatever. And so they're contracted out. I just walked through that area just before this happened and told one of the workers what a good job they were doing, because the area was spotless of trash and the hand stations were working. I was watching people wash their hands. Yeah. So I'm walking with this gentleman and I'm asking him, so what exactly happened? What's the issue? And this is the story. So he comes out to wash his hands, and there was no water in the water. So he goes to another one, and there's no water in the water. So he goes to another one, and he finally gets some water, and he's washing his hands. And some other guy walks out of the bathroom and goes, "Why are you washing your hands, faggot?" And then walked off. So at this point,
What the
at this at this point, I can't laugh in this guy's face because that's
Yes,
fucking
you
hilarious.
can. Why didn't you
Well,
laugh in his face?
I'm a true professional. So, I'm trying the
You know what?
the
No,
job is to make him have a better Skankfest, not for me
by
to have a
lying
better
to him and saying that
Skankfest.
he isn't being
You
a
know what I
faggot.
mean? Yeah, I could have easily stopped in my tracks, walking, and said, "That's what happened, faggot. Get the fuck out of here." But no, what I did was I bit my fucking cheek and tried everything, and I tried to relate to him, and so I was like, yeah, well, outside of the bathrooms isn't the place to start working on your comedy material. So thank you for not responding, because that could have led to a bad situation. You know what I mean? Like, you had two options. What were you gonna do? You're gonna snap back at him, and y'all are gonna have a roast battle at the bathrooms? Like, that's not
Yeah,
appropriate. That's
that is
stupid.
what I would do. I would immediately throw
Yeah,
down. And if you've ever seen that movie Ricky Stenicki that John
yeah,
Cena and Andrew Santino were in,
yeah.
and Santino, you should have had Bobby in there. You should have had Bobby do a cameo or something. I do mean that, like, for real. You shouldn't have not had Bobby show up in that movie, even though that movie's really good. But the reason I'm bringing it up is, no, I've developed this, and maybe it's the wrong personality archetype to have, Shane, but I'll at least tell you, and then you can say, oh, that's fucking stupid. But my whole deal is the same way that in that movie, Ricky Stenicki's Purpose, there's the scene where he goes and kind of bosses his way into the company, because he's like not a real person. Ricky Stenicki is just somebody that they used to blame all the bad shit they would do on.
Oh
And
yeah,
that way they wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
they're made up for.
and they hire John Cena to be Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah,
And
okay.
he becomes the character and then invites himself to the company they work at. And the guy from Fargo, which I don't remember the dude's name, and we had just talked about him. It's not William H. Macy, is it? I could be completely fucking that up, but he's in Fargo, and he's also in, believe it or not, he's in an episode of Old School Law and Order during, like, the Italian mobster shootout scene, which is crazy. But he's the boss of this company, and he's wondering why his numbers are tanking and shit isn't going good. And the people close to him, they're not really saying anything. They're just kind of dancing around, not upsetting him because they don't want to get fired. And that's a sad mentality to live in. And then Ricky Stenicki, because he's not real and he has nothing to lose, he's John Cena just playing this guy. He says, well, I see what you're doing wrong, man. Every time you're talking, you're cock-micing it. And I'm just going to keep saying it's William H. Macy because I can't think of any other name. William H. Macy, he goes, cock-miking? What are you talking about? He's like, well, look at it. Let's watch. And they're watching him talking about his things, and he's saying, like, and we're going to gobble up the competition, and he's literally, both of his hands, it looks like he's giving two dicks a fucking jerk-off to splurge all over his face. He's like, yeah, man, see, you're cock-miking it. And so when people see that, they think you're gay, and that's why they're not voting for you. And he stops and he thinks about it, and he's like, and you two haven't told me about this, and you've worked here for how long? And he was more upset that they didn't even bring it up because they were afraid that he'd be offended, or again, that they would get fired for self-perseverance, rather than because they actually care about him or care about where they're at. They can't see the forest through the trees.
So what I was doing was I was pointing out that he did a good thing, because they could have ended up in a fight too. It could have been a fight or a roast battle or not respond. And so that's why I told him, I was like, you did good not to respond. I said, because the other two options were, you could have got physical.
But I would have had to have called him a
that.
fag. That's my point. Like, I would have had to have called him a fag, Shane, because I would have doubled down on that bit.
Okay, because he kept going, I'm not trying to complain, but he was complaining the whole time.
That's the best. I'm not trying.
I did, and now I do want to let everyone know that we did go and check all the water at the hand washing stations. And what happened was it was nighttime, and at nighttime they fill up one half of them completely, and the other half are completely empty. That way they're not trying to overfill all the hand stations, and this one's empty and that one's not. You know what I mean? Like
That's reasonable when you're thinking about the sanity of the
what was
employees.
going on. So yeah, I went to the hand washing station with him, and I did let him know. I said, now you have to admit that kind of was a little funny because he kept bitching about it.
Did he admit it or no?
So, I think I don't know. I think his feelings were just too hurt or something. But we went and checked the water and everything, and I was like, see, there's hand wash, there's water here and everything, and I just want to make sure you had a good time, and he wasn't so offended and everything. But yeah, instead of him walking out the door, because that was what would have happened if I wouldn't have took that time to walk with him and not laugh at him like you said, because I could have took that time and just laughed and been like, that was hilarious. I came back and told y'all and everything. But no, that was my job as a volunteer, was to use my skills that I have acquired over the years at my job to make that a better experience for everyone.
Yeah, but it's also your job to tell him he's a fag if he's being a fag, dude. You gotta be real with
Fair
him.
enough. Okay. I can see. You're right. You're right. Because he was absolutely being a fag.
And shout out to that dude. Like, if you ever hear this, bro, like, we got love, and look at how somebody just fucking wore their heart on their sleeve for you. But we're still like, dude, you're being a fag. Like, yeah, it's love and everything, you know. Let me hold your hand and show you it's okay. And you don't have to be scared of the boogeyman.
Why you washing your hands, fag? And instead of laughing and going, you know how fucking hard it was to find water, asshole?
Or quit back, just be like, because I'm gay. Want your dick sucked? Go back in the stall. Just say something to fuck with them. Don't be like,
he just almost cried. Like, he literally was about in tears, and yeah, he was pouting it up to the.
You're at Skankfest. Being called a fag at the fucking water washing station isn't the biggest egregious crime. We do a naked roast. There's a literal naked roast, you fag. You're being a fag.
I guess you're right. I am kind of useless at Skankfest.
No, not even. Oh, God. Fuck. That wasn't part of the plan. Damn it. Collateral damage. Friendly fire. Man down. We need a medic over here.
No. It's just I did move the chairs and stuff after the goddamn comedy jam and stuff like that. When I hit the scene, I was moving stuff, but then being in my 40s and stuff, the physical labor did get short-lived with me. That's why this year when I did the forum, I didn't even put that I can do the movie and the stuff. I might have put that last year, like, yeah, I'll move the set and stuff like that. Just get me on. And then I got there, and then I wore my muscles out, and I'm like, I'm going to Sam's with y'all to fill the rider.
Yeah, there were some things that, I don't want to say it took it out of me, but I think I'd mentioned to you, I kind of got a bad leg situation going on. And in the year that I've had it, it hasn't gone away. And I'm like everybody else. I'm not rich enough to go to Mr. Doctor who needs fucking $5,000 a minute to tell me that, oh, well, your blah, blah, blah is blah, 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 and we'll have to schedule you to blah, 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 to blah, 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 and fuck you, man. I'm not doing that, brother. I can't right now. Not right now. It just isn't, it's not a real answer. But nevertheless, your boy was putting in 18-hour shifts. And they weren't really uptight about it. I think some people, and I don't mean you by this, but I saw some people that they had almost a hyper-focused, I want to say autism, but then people will say, oh, that's mean. So I'll just say artism. They were artistic. And they were way too glazed on not understanding where they were at because you weren't working at the Pentagon. Yes, it was this is credit to what you just said. You did the right thing, but because you didn't put the brand at risk, you didn't do anything fucked. Like, that guy could have tried to make a big complaint and blow something into, out of the water, make a mountain out of a
Or just not come back next year, you know?
Right.
It's a $700 ticket.
But there's a lot of options in that deck is what I'm saying. So, like, you handled the situation correct because you remember day one, the fucking two little dweebs that I had to chill out because they wanted to jump. Remember that chill-ass black dude, the janitor? And he was, like, ex-fucking Navy SEAL or some shit. The bald-headed dude.
I vaguely remember you telling me this story.
Yeah, on Friday, that motherfucker, he was out there, somebody had cut the line. And you and I know what will happen if out there you think that you're going to cheat anybody else who paid to get here. You know, you better get in your spot and be happy you're there, and not be trying to, like, fuck people over and piss people off, because it will come back on you later on. And here are these two kids trying to do exactly that. Piss off a bunch of people in line, like hundreds of people where you're trying to just insert yourself, and then argue with this guy who you can say he's not Skankfest staff, but they were also instructed. Just because he's custodial or whatever doesn't mean he's not supposed to also keep an eye on shit and make sure people aren't doing this, that, or whatever. And there were other people out. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't see any fights. You said that you seen a fight or two?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, on Friday, these two kids, they tried to cut the line to go. You remember how we were running the main ballroom? Like, you'd had the line up outside, and then they walked in through, like, the jungle area.
Yeah,
and we made it really beautiful for that. Yeah. And they all got to, like, take a peek at backstage. Which, if you motherfuckers didn't understand how special you had it, you literally got to walk by the stage and all the comedians when you flooded into the room. So I hope you understood what, like, for what you paid, you got a fucking bomb experience with little to no risk or effort involved. You just got to be there and hang out for 3 days.
They had good New Orleans food represented there too. Oh, I'm from Biloxi, actually. Yeah, I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from Mississippi, janky ass Mississippi. it's about an hour away, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, you know, I actually I've never been to Mississippi, but
come see me, come visit. You know, come hang out for a little bit.
I should. But like, if I ever did a video episode, that would be it. We'd be like, let's go hunt gators down in the bayou or something. Let's go do some crazy shit.
Now, and this is what I was telling Mark Norman. Now, we have a comedy venues. We don't have a scene. We don't have a comedy scene here in Biloxi. But I was at the George Carlin show a year or two before he died at the Beau Rivage. He played there, and when I was talking to Mark at Skankfest, he was at that same show because I was telling Mark that he should go play there because the Beau Rivage and the IP Casino are the two casinos in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Did he tell you there was something there when you said that? Was he like there's something there? Did he say that?
What? Oh, no, he did.
There's something there. Hey, what do you want from me, Queef?
Actually,
there's something there. No, there's something there, Shane. Pretty sure there's something there. Yeah. Hey, I'm gay, Queef. What do you want from me? Yeah, you know that's the thing, dude. When you're fucking gay and retarded, there's nothing better than being a fucking gay retard and sucking some fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go on a rant here, but it just takes the cake. You know, I think Seinfeld would agree with me about that. Yeah, hey, what do you want from me, Queef? I'm not Seinfeld, I'm gay. Anyway, shout out to Lemon Party, man. They've been dunking on Norman. I don't think you saw this because I know you're not deep on social media, but they actually responded to my homie who was just on the pod. They left a comment on his channel, not realizing it was a fucking fan clip channel. They thought it was the official, but Lemon Party got banned off YouTube, so they don't exist in an official capacity anymore. And they deleted the comment after they put it, but they were like, come on the pod and do this. So you might see Ben Avery and Devin Costa and Jace Avery hop on We Might Be Drunk, Which, as much as I trash both of those guys and give them shit, yeah, I think it would be fucking cool. You know, they just did Butterly's show. That was fucking cool. If you haven't seen that one yet, you should check it out after we do this, Shane. It's pretty good. They're just fire anywhere that they go, and they're touring down in Austin right now. And I just think it's funny you brought up Mark Norman, because, yeah, he was going to be coming back this year, and I love those guys. As much as I trash on them, I've got this pretty funny gif that I like to harass Mark with, because with the episode that they brought the Rizzler on, for some reason Mark thought it would be a good idea to have the Rizzler sit on his lap, and while the Rizzler's sitting on his lap doing the Riz face, Mark Norman says, "You've got a warm ass." So I've got that as a little gif where he's like, warm ass, and saying, it's, you can't dig deeper than that. But yeah, Mark Norman, friend of the show, can't wait to see you again at this year's Skankfest. Believe it or not, it'll be funny. And a lot of these guys who I've either been teasing, I don't know if Jeff Dye is going to be there. He's been getting a lot of shit online. There's like a whole Ark of the Covenant that I haven't really delved into you with, which I don't plan on making the entire show about that, but it's just funny how my brain works, because now that we're in this realm, it's like, yeah, I haven't really told Shane that I've been on this conquest with people and having a lot of fun. I know I told you about the little post I made where I had like 2.5k likes on X just by saying that Tim Heidecker telling the truth that he fucking sucks. And Sam Hyde was right about him being a fucking piece of shit. And, I'm having a little moment right now.
If we're talking about people, comedians that we don't like, I'd like to take this moment to say how much I do not like David Lucas.
All right, air it out. Air it out, dude.
I seen that he was on the Kill Tony thing. The Killers of Kill Tony, they're going to be in Mobile and New Orleans, because most main performers either do NOLA or Mobile. Like I said, we have two good venues in Biloxi, and people do those as well, but those are the big sellers of those two. And I seen they were coming. I was like, I was thinking about it. I seen he was on the lineup, and I just not gonna go, because I would tell Davis Lucas that he sucks to his face, and I don't want to go.
You should.
So, well, I mean, that's
you should. You should buy tickets just so you can tell him that he sucks to his fucking face, and then watch him do nothing. As tough as he acts, watch him do nothing. Yeah. Just be like, dude, you fucking suck. I came here to see you knowing you suck, just so I could tell you, you fucking suck, dude. You suck. And watch him do nothing. He'd be like, oh, man, shut up, you fucking bald toupee head motherfucker. Like, that's all he could do is be on some bitch shit. You'll completely embarrass him.
You create a character-looking motherfucker. But no, I don't understand.
Create a character.
Well, I mean, that's what I look like. If you don't do anything, they're like, this fucking bald, white, fucking, does he have cheeks? I can't tell. I mean,
like somebody hit random on the create a character. That's a fucking... That's a flex.
I can't leave his fucking Abdullah the Butcher fucking forehead alone. Like, how did he fucking murder all these people in roasts and shit, fucking looking like a fucking 5-year-old, like, kid whose parents didn't love him, that's like, go dress yourself and go to school, and then he just shows up looking like that and murders people while he fucking hits that vape. I don't know.
Well, if you want to be real about it, and look, I'm not going to say anything that hasn't already been said. People like to get in their feelings about shit. I'm not a big-time comedian. I don't have any pull or influence. I'm just a fucking idiot with a microphone talking to my homie right now. And we all remember when Lemaire went off on a tangent and said, fuck the New York comedy scene.
Yeah, that was a funny moment. Yeah, and then Lewis went and put him in check, and
it's like, in that same breath, man, I see a duality in David Lucas and Lemaire. Both of those motherfuckers are opposite sides of the same coin, and what's tiring to me, because there's a lot of, I'm not going to make it just about, race, but there's a lot of powerful black comedians out there that aren't even really that known. Like, I'll throw Tolu's name out there. Tolu's
that's what
good.
got me started in comedy was Eddie Murphy. That's the Raw show was the first comedy.
But you know what I mean?
Watched.
There's other guys that have been slept on throughout the years who they don't ever get any kind of praise or recognition, and then the guys that do succeed in that formula, the way it comes off to me anyway, is a very sleepy Patrice O'Neal formula, where you put on the weight.
Was the best.
Yeah, you put on the weight, and you have this cadence to your bits where you kind of don't care, and then you bury everything in a laugh. And that's the thing that they both do.
And that's what Crack hit on in his song about, like, I already never, like, I just, it's just the energy of and it is hacky, and yeah. And then,
right, it's not an authentic type of comedy where even if you had good bits or I could see a moment from you that I liked, I think Cam Patterson is infinitely funnier than both of them.
Patrice didn't just attack the crowd. Patrice's elephant in the room is, show me a better special.
I actually like the one he did before that.
Yeah.
You remember the one I'm talking about? I think it was just like a comedy special. It wasn't even long. It was like 20 or 30 minutes long.
He was doing a lot of the Comedy Central shit. They
But you remember, I think he was wearing like a brown shirt or something.
I say that like he could, like he was.
He didn't have many.
I to speak on him, but I wish I did.
He had this one special before where you had like a rawer version of Patrice where Elephant in the Room was him at his most polished and self-understood.
That was the gym. Yeah, that was the gym.
He finally got to a place in his life that he knew who he was supposed to be, not who he was gonna be. He flipped that switch, and that was an authentic representation of, I'm Patrice O'Neal, and this is what I am going forward. Come to expect this from me. But that's my issue with Lucas. I don't see jokes. I just seen him doing the Kill Tony shit where he's just fucking being hostile with people, and I just failed to see comedy. And I'm just like, well, I can do that too. We're just talking shit. I can talk shit too. Like, fuck. That's. I know Ali Sadiq. Shout out to him. A lot of people give him.
Yeah, he's a polished comedian. Yeah.
But he did have Ali Sadiq. He posted on his channel the special I'm talking about, where Patrice is like, he's rocking a lighter button up. He's not wearing the fedora in the suit. He looks a little fresher and unpolished, and that's some of my favorite material from him, even though it's not a lot, because he's so abusive with his disregard to what happens after he says what he's gonna say, because his entire intention, I almost put Patrice in an anti-humor category, because he would talk about it so much himself that he didn't aim to ever be funny. He wasn't trying to make you laugh. He wanted to see what was going to happen.
It was funny to him.
Right. It was funny to him, and if you laughed along, good for you. That didn't mean he agreed with you or liked you, or that meant he was catering to you with the bit. That was just like, oh, okay, silly motherfucker, you like my shit too. Stupid
and
bitch.
I just want to,
in the same breath.
Just props to Patrice for, at the time, going on all those talk shows, the tough crowd he was on all the time. They bring him on the news, and he would just slay these people. They would bring him on an angle, trying to set him up, and he would bob, weave, and drop them.
He would wait, too. He would let them get all that steam out, just like a trained boxer does when they see an opponent that it doesn't matter what you bring to the table. I know how to wear you down. And they'd get it all out, and then he'd just kind of lean back and go, well, stupid bitch, how about it? And it'd be over. And like nobody would care. It's done. It's just, and how is you gonna tell me because
you wake me up at 8 o'clock to bring me on this silly ass show, and this bitch ain't brushed her hair over here and shit. Look at
100%. He just knew where he was coming from. He didn't need anybody else to dog walk him, and he wasn't gonna go down the path with you. He was gonna make you look bad, and that was his joy. He liked making people who were so sure of themselves look bad. If nobody saw through that, that's...
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not. You're good.
Stanhope, yeah, he got his the I don't know if it was I think it was the local, but it might have been national. I don't remember enough of the details to really talk on it that much, but I was watching his podcast stuff, and yeah, they wanted to bring him on, and they were doing the same thing. They were trying to set him up with an angle and everything, and he just, and it wasn't about the tragedy that's going on either. It was prior to all this unfortunate.
Richard Pryor? Hey.
Right. another great one. Like, that was another great black comedian that I grew up watching. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even remember him now. It's like a whisper. And Bernie Mac doesn't get enough credit. But if you want to talk about new people,
Bad Santa. Go back and watch that scene with him and what's the other guy's name that passed away with the glasses? He's sitting there eating the apple. John Ritter.
Oh, yeah. John Ritter.
Oh,
yeah.
My God. Like, fuck fat bitches in the ass, huh?
Yeah, and the brother that plays the elf.
Oh, the little one.
He is funny as fuck, too.
Yeah.
And he's actually a really nice guy. If you look at him in interviews and shit, really nice guy.
Yeah.
But I was saying, Cam Patterson is.
He fucking slays. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go see the Killers of Kill Tony.
He is twice as funny as David and Lemaire if they did a Dragon Ball Z fusion dance together. They're even together, they would never be funnier than Cam is. Like, that's why Cam is on SNL, and David does a fishing show where he acts like he doesn't care, but he is out doing a fishing show, so that's caring enough. This show is not caring.
Got a camera behind you,
right? You got like a fucking $5,000 camera.
Has he ever caught a fish?
Bro, I don't even know. I don't. There's only one episode that I watched. I'm gonna put this out here now. If you really want to know.
Pulling up fucking gay people's fucking dead bodies, pulling up all the fucking.
No, because he's putting them in there. He's putting them in there. He's not pulling them out. Yeah, he's trying to keep that on the down low, dude. Don't blow up the spot. But the only episode I watched of that bullshit was the one where Sam Hyde came on, and shout out to Sam for even doing that shit, because Sam was going on quite a few shows. He did Matan show, which I still think is one of the best episodes. $2 for $99.
Yeah, I was saying about the Skankfest. How awesome was that, man?
I said that shit to him in passing, because after you and I saw him, I saw him a couple more times, and I said that shit to him and Mike. I was like, $2 for $99, and he like stopped and turned around. I was like, $2 for $99. It was fucking. It was like I enjoyed it, bro. Like, there was. Matan's a good one. Like, he's gonna make it. Yeah, him and Mike. They're a good duo. He's got a good team with him.
Yeah.
Vinyl Flooring. They're good. Shout out all those guys. I respect what they're doing. They're the next wave, man. Like, Matan, to me, he's the future. He's the next big one that I'm gonna end up enjoying the same way that I'm a fan of Nick Mullen. This guy is gonna be one of the greats. He already is really great. So it's nice when you get relief that these people appear. You don't know what's gonna happen, And then think about when you and I are like in our 70s and we see some prodigy and how sad we're going to feel because we won't get to see them grow. We'll only know that they're one of the next ones that are coming, and we don't get to see the shit that comes next. You know what I mean? We get a brief glimpse into the next. I don't want to say Tom Cruise. He's kind of going on a, the Scientology defender, but
next good comedians and stuff. You mentioned Tolu briefly. Shout out to him. He's awesome. I gotta get another shirt from him and stuff. Those shirts are awesome, man.
My mom loves the fucking, suck me, I'm Irish shirt. She wore that.
Black shirt.
She wore that on fucking St. Patrick's Day. Everybody was upset because they didn't know where she got it. Like, well, my son got it for me when he went and did his comedy event, worked in New Orleans. And yeah, I brought her back a shirt. I brought back some of the Body Brain coffee. Shout out to that. Not that I don't want to stop you from talking about Tolu. Tolu is really cool to me, and I fuck with him. He follows me on social media and shit. At least I think he does. I follow him at least. It doesn't matter to me. But I've kept in contact with him. He's at least liked my shit since then. And he was really funny I knew about him before I met him, but you forget about people. I had watched that Harland episode, and when he came out, he looked different. I think he was rocking like a mustache or something.
Every time he's been on Kill Tone, he's killed, and then he's done like the larger arena too. So I mean, yeah.
No, he killed in that arena though. When he went out there, he looked like he should be somebody doing that. He didn't look like anybody going up there to do it. If you gave him an opportunity to do 10 minutes up there, he would probably kill in a big set if he was opening for somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely one of the people I see as like the next wave of comedians.
Yeah, plus he's got the fighting skills to back it up. That motherfucker whoops some ass in the skank fights. He was I could tell he wasn't.
I couldn't get his name right for a minute. It took me like 3 or 4 tries, and like each try he was getting more and more upset.
No, dude, his full name is like his full name sounds like you're casting a Harry Potter spell. It's like Tolumami or something. It's crazy. But I get why he tells people Tolu. It's just easier to say and remember. But he's a cool motherfucker, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, but I was definitely gonna get it right though. Whenever I was met him and stuff.
Oh man, yeah. I do want to kind of throw this out here, just even though it's random as fuck. A lot of people have no clue that you do shit with skanks. Not skanks, I'm so stoned. Snakes. Same, kind of the same word. So, yeah.
Oh, the ball python breeding and stuff. Yeah, that's my whole art that I do. It's
this is the part of the show, like the Tonight Show, where I bring on an animal entertainer and you introduce us to the creatures that you brought. So, yeah, tell us about your shit.
Definitely. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna bring 1 or 2 this year for Skankfest, and
really?
Definitely.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
I have close to 100. I got like 30 something babies. I produced over 50. You
should have asked Lewis if he wanted one last year.
I should have, and I have so many that I definitely don't mind giving them to comedians to help, to help promote and everything. Like, definitely, I would.
He might be scared now because he got that dog, Apple. He wouldn't want to come home and
the dog would tear up the snake. Especially you get like a baby one and stuff too. But a cat would kill a ball python easily. They're called a ball python because they roll in a ball when they get scared. So I tell people they're not a real snake because I don't consider them a real snake. Like I have 3 Honduran milk snakes. They're real snakes. Like if they bite you, it doesn't hurt. Their head's only the size of your thumb, but they don't want to be held. If you grab a Honduran milk snake, it's trying to get away from you. It might pee on you. It'd probably turn around and bite you. A ball python, yeah. If you're just picking one up for the first time and you haven't established a bond with it, even if it is just touching it for a second and to let you pick it up. If you just go cold snatching up a Honduran milk snake, you don't know. Yeah, it might pee or poop or bite you. But a ball python, if you go snatching up a ball python cold, it might curl in a ball. It might try to get away, but it's probably not going to bite you. The only way that they bite is if they think they're eating. So they would have to mistake your hand for the heat signature of your hand for a food item. And if they do go to bite it, as soon as they hit it, they don't even bite down. They pull their head back, and their teeth are so skinny they latch on, and you pull your hand and you break their teeth and stuff like that. It's not good for the animal.
Or you're some asshole Indian dude with a flute thinking he's a snake charmer, and the king cobra bites your dumb fucking. I just saw a video of that shit and I could not stop laughing because the guy's like,
well, did it have fangs? Like that would
brother, it was a real like a hooded king cobra, and it was up in a tree, and this fucking Indian dude with a Gandalf beard just walked up with a fucking like one of those big the pipes they play. Yeah, he's like, and he's swinging it in a 360 motion trying to hypnotize the snake, and the snake is just not having it and fucking launches out, bites the dude in the hand, and the Indian guy is like, he starts shaking his hand like he just touched a hot stove. He's like, and then he just goes back to playing the flute, and he's like, and the snake bites him again, and he does the same thing. He's like, and then goes back to play, and then the snake finally starts following the guy. Like, okay, I guess since I can't get you to leave me alone, I'll play your stupid game and swing my head around you while you play this annoying noise in my face. And it just, I mean, it's crazy what some of these motherfuckers are doing for clicks now, whether it's trying to, like, risk standing in front of a train type shit, or the prank era was pretty dumb. I don't get it with some people where, just, like, have a couple friends and do some fake videos where, like, people haven't cracked that egg yet that a lot of the content you watch, it's all staged. It's all people who are there, they know what they're supposed to do, and they're creating something even though it seems real. All of these people are having these reactions.
I can't stand Facebook. I'm about to get I've been saying this for years, but I'm about to do it. What I want is that's what I'm going to do now that we're talking about it. So I'm going to get that second line so I can get the free nice phone, and then I'm going to turn this phone we're talking on as a flip phone or whatever. And then, I'm just going to leave my smartphone at the house and carry my flip phone when I leave. Because, I mean, I know how to get to work and back, so I don't need MapQuest for that. And that's the only thing I can think of that I would need my phone for when I leave the house, so I wouldn't get lost going somewhere. But I mean, I don't.
No, that's a good point. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to not use that shit as much because I want to be the way my parents were, where they had to rely not necessarily on maps, but once you do it the first time, you get better and better.
Well, the data centers are coming that nobody asked for, and so, I mean, you get one side of the debate or the other. Either there's an environmental issue, there's climate change, and we got to tax everybody because there's climate change, or we need data centers because the data centers are the worst thing for the climate and the environment, period. So you can't say that there's a climate problem and then build data centers on top of it. Like, it's crazy.
I agree with that. It doesn't make sense where they're compounding the issue and they keep wondering why is all this shit happening, and it's like, because you've done all of this shit over hundreds of years. It didn't just happen overnight. It's because we changed rapidly in the last 200 years. We have not been the same civilization that we were for thousands of years. Because the most that we had advanced was we figured out how to make a wooden or a stone wheel to transport shit, and how to work with livestock, like a horse could take us faster than, we figured things out, but we didn't have a computer where a guy sits in front of it all day and bitches at people online about how, oh my god, the new My Little Pony episode, I'm so upset that they made the tail blue and pink instead of green and red. I'm gonna end my life now unless you change it, and I'm doing a petition, and you're all like, it's just this, insane performance of stupidity. There's this fucking guy who everybody keeps dunking on. It's this peanut guy, this fucking the lonely sheriff or something, and he's this it's like a VTuber thing. You know, the people who they take a fake picture and they hide behind that instead of just being themselves online. And this fucking guy, he's a peanut with a face, and he wears a cowboy hat, and he likes the Bible. So you like him because he's a holy peanut. And then everybody's saying, well, you're just ripping off of the burnt peanut who already did a peanut thing. And I'm just losing my mind because, like, guys, it's a fucking filter, like on Snapchat, that everybody can use. Nobody owns the fucking dog ear shit. Are you gonna tell me that if one person becomes successful doing the dog ears, nobody else can ever do it? It's just I don't understand the argument, and it just seems really dumb, but people are really invested in it. Like, it had 5K likes, one of the fucking posts. I'm like, is that bot engagement? What the fuck is going on that people care this much about a fake VTuber peanut controversy? It didn't make any sense, bro.
So, yeah, I don't know, but I do tell you, talking about current topics, the missing scientists, I got a couple theories about that. So,
I know you wanted to talk about this. I'm down to go into it.
So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't comment on that.
I don't expect you to. I was hoping that would be your reaction, because it shouldn't be something that I know, but for some reason it keeps popping up as if it's important. It's not even, though. It's like the Iran-Iraq shit. That's interesting.
Not interesting. It's I don't know. Maybe, it's important, no, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is nothing. Yeah. But I can't stop talking about, like, all these current politics and stuff. It always racks my brain and stuff. And so I've been these scientists coming up missing and stuff. And so my own personal theory is, I don't know if you've ever seen the Ring movies, but
Yeah.
yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe there's a new Ring movie out that they're all passing around, and they're all getting the 7 days shit, and that's why they're like, hey, I'm not suicidal in case something happens, and then they're just whacking themselves. They're, like, killing themselves in front of other people and stuff. It's crazy what's going on with it at this point. So there's the Ring theory. I think they might be just passing this tape amongst each other, and it's a new Ring, you know? And they're just thinking it's just another Epstein film, and they're like, here, watch this, and then that scientist watches it, and so now that one doesn't die because he got the other one to watch it, but then now he has to go get another one. Or the time travelers. Then maybe it's just time travelers.
That shit is probably the weirdest angle that I've seen, where I don't know how in the fuck you're supposed to track it, because if you saw that time traveler shit about the Cole Allen or whatever, there was somebody.
I like all the stories of anybody that's supposed to have time traveled. I'm watching that YouTube video.
No, but this is one where a random account that was created in December on a specific day, and the only post that they made that day was the name of the person who was the suspected shooter for one of the current things that happened, and then they had somebody said the name a long time ago, and then it was from a prediction account too. Yeah, there's always something crazy going on. I read some random thing today talking about why the time travelers always appeared naked is because the clothes couldn't teleport because of some scientific reason I can't understand. I mean, they did that in Terminator, if you remember. When
it's always
Arnold came back, he's fucking buck-ass naked. They're just trying to make sure that they make their money. I'll be jacked.
It said, "Why do you say everything's like the Terminator? Because everything is like the Terminator." Shout out to Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh yeah, exactly. Fucking, they need to make a third one of that.
How have they not made a third one? Like,
I don't know.
they're just
Are
holding
sitting
it
on
for.
gold. They are. They're waiting for a rainy day when they
It's
run out of
gotta be
money.
too sad because he didn't
Yeah.
come back for the second one, and he is essential for the plot too.
Yeah, it was weird in the second one not to see him, but I don't know. It just you should look into that post though, because I know you're not glossing over it.
I
but
came across that on like Facebook or whatnot. Like,
it's just only
I
one post. Like, you have to understand that how creepy and cryptic it is that a guy creates an account 3 years ago, makes one post on it, never posts on that account again, gets no engagement, no interactions.
What about the Paris Rees map? Like,
no, but just
how does that thing exist?
And for that to be
That's
the
not
name.
Time travel. Yeah, that's different though.
And so many people were retweeting this post, Shane, because they're like, "Is this fucking time travel? How is this here? It's impossible."
What about the dude from The Simpsons and shit? How about him going on the submarine that imploded? He was on the trip before it imploded. You would have to have knowledge. Like, I know this bridge isn't going to collapse. I know I can walk across this bridge, but it's going to collapse the next person that walks. But I know it won't. And then that's what they did. And then it just the next person. Like,
yeah.
That one, yeah.
It takes you out of it, man, because you really don't know if there's any intent or purpose. And people have talked about the Berenstein effect and all that shit. They don't know what's real and what's different. You know, and I'm not going to sound crazy, but I feel like I've seen things change. I've seen some shit that used to be a way and not be a certain way anymore, and then people act like it wasn't like that, and once in a while you meet somebody who's like, "No, I do remember that," and yeah, it's weird.
Businesses would say even now and I don't know if they're just gassing us, but they're saying like things of the future or things that you do can affect the past or so. I don't know. It sounded like bullshit. Like I said,
I mean, that was part of the plot of Interstellar, that Matthew McConaughey movie. That's how he was able to talk to people in the past. There were like scenes where a book would fall off of the shelf. And that was McConaughey in the future in a different dimension, communicating with his other people, like himself and the people around him, even though he couldn't be there. It was like a quantum thing where there's a lot to take in, but I did follow it. Like, if we can think about shit like that being real, think about all of the shit that we've imagined and made real. You know, we were like, oh, spaceships, and now we're in space. We imagine aliens, but then some people don't want to acknowledge the potential where if there's trillions of solar systems out there, you're going to tell me there isn't one intelligent species out there that maybe has figured out how to travel space? You're crazy. Yeah. Space is a big place. And it's like we don't know anything.
Even the Bible says that there's aliens, so there's no way around it. There's just no way around it. Like, you can't hide behind the Bible and be like, oh no, this book, like, that says that they came from out of the sky and stuff, and then he went into the sky. Like,
yeah, I don't know anymore. And you're not wrong, because I have seen the uptick in just strange disappearances of people. And some people, it doesn't matter how they protect themselves, they just end up gone. And that's it. You don't know what's going to come next. But some people are smart enough to figure it out, like to crack the code on, why we don't have this. But they don't get to the next level, which is being smart enough to realize that other people have probably found that solution, and then we're silenced because of it, because the powers that be already have access to a lot of this shit, and they decide when they give it to us. Just like the microwave.
I watched this shit happen, and my stoner ass is sitting over here just going, well, I'm glad I didn't go get educated. Like, I'm not a threat to anyone.
There's a point to that where, you fly under the radar when you're...
the weed from the store now.
Yeah. These motherfuckers are not worried about us, and even me, all the crazy shit I say. I mean, if you listen to this show from the beginning, I've gone off on some tangents, but at the end of the day, it's all satire. I don't really have a horse in this race, and I do kind of approach it like Carlin, where I'm just here. I have a front row seat at the shit show. That's
if
what
I went
I'm
to
doing.
work tomorrow or tonight and they handed me a fucking Palantir t-shirt, was like, you have to wear this under t-shirt. I'd be like, I don't know, maybe I have to quit. I don't
Yeah,
know. This
you
is
know,
weird.
it's not time for me to join the dark side. I'm not going anywhere. Not with a 10-foot pole or whatever that Grinch shit is. Keep me away from all of it. I don't need it. You know, now they're talking about installing kill switches in cars. I don't like that. Some people blow things out of proportion, but
well,
no,
they gotta
motherfucker,
have
it's
the data
coming.
centers for it, though.
Well, they've already been testing it out with Teslas. All these rich people have been trying to brag to the people that they view as less, that they have an audience to, and they're like, yeah, look at me in my Tesla. I don't have to do anything, and oh, look how cool. But then I think it was Fauci was the first time I remembered seeing it. They shut that motherfucker's car off while he was driving.
Shout out to one of my coworkers that the he got a Tesla, and so he was asking the other guy about the Tesla. What does our car do, or what? It sounded like they were a couple. You're talking about, because they're like part of the group now. But
yeah, it's very intimate for them motherfuckers. They even have a restaurant that you can go to. They have a Tesla diner, and you can order from inside your car. Yeah, dude, it's so fucking dumb. It makes no sense, and
shit,
I'm
glad
this?
Those people, and I didn't know who they were, so I'm glad that we had this conversation, because I had been asking that question for so long. Like, who wants these data centers besides the politicians? Like, are there people? I don't know any of these people, but yeah, I guess I do know.
It just seems like an agenda being pushed, and then once they have all these things decided, they expect everybody to fall in line, and if you don't like it, well, I'm sure that there's some law that was written where now you have to be fined or go to jail because you're not jumping through a new hoop that was created that everybody didn't agree to.
Dude, we can't say what we want anymore. Like, I know that, like, well, not really. Like, can't. if they're fucking taking people to, if the former, I don't even want to like get into it specifically. Just if one person can interpret what one person says as a threat, and then the person gets arrested, and all it was a picture. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know.
Well, you remember, you and I had talked about it months ago, and I'm not gonna ever share this on the show because it's just too insane. It's too scary. Like, scary might not be the right word, because I wasn't scared. But just the oddness of two things that happened to me during Skankfest, and I'm still, happy to come back this year. But it was, I had anticipated that there might be some weirdness, and yeah, some shit can go down sometimes where you got to be careful who you're talking to. And you gotta remember where the fuck you're at all times. And I mean that, this is coming from the guy who I know how hard I worked last year. I gotta work even harder this time. And that sounds insane, but no, because it's not that I took it for granted, but there was a moment where if I hadn't have been vigilant, I would have taken my eye off the ball in a bad way. And it's crazy how they talk about New Orleans being a spooky place to go. Like, shit happens and people are deep there, and I'm not from there, so you don't know who knows who, especially at this venue. How many eyes are on you? What could happen? A motherfucker got robbed. If you remember,
the venue was safe. It's just when you leave the venue,
was it though?
You have to be in a group.
Was it though, Shane?
The venue was at the show, but once you left the venue where they didn't have security and stuff.
How do you know that for sure? Because you can say it was safe, but you and I personally don't know any of the wait staff that was a part of the company. And we also know that criminals can get jobs. I'm not saying anybody there was a criminal, but follow me on this devil's advocate shit where I'm saying just because we're all under cameras and being watched and watching each other's back doesn't mean shit can't happen. Motherfuckers stole from me on Sunday.
Stuff couldn't have happened. I'm saying that we had a successful show.
No, let me.
That was. I'm not saying that shit
let me
can't
cook here,
happen.
because I want you to. I know you'll agree with me if I paint this whole picture out, and I want to say this again because I don't think you caught it. Somebody did steal from me on Sunday. Somebody stole from me on Sunday, and shout out to Cam, one of the event organizers, because he made it a big priority, which I didn't even ask for. It was just he thought it was fucked up. Somebody did me dirty, and he knew how hard I was working. And I had gone off site to buy myself my own shit. Like, I wasn't just taking shit from the venue. I had my own money, and like, if I want to go get a body armor light, because that's good hydration for me, it's healthy, that's what I'm gonna go do. Somebody stole my shit. I turned my back while I was in the main ballroom and thinking it was safe to just leave a couple. I turn around, it's gone.
What was it?
Just a couple of drinks, and somebody stole my shit. And he had somebody go and run me to go get shit for me. I didn't have to pay for it. They went and got me exactly what I wanted, and that kind of blew me away. I was like, wow. I don't think anybody's ever done that for me before. Thank you. I was a little as stupid as that sounds. I'll probably get trashed on for that, but like, yes, having a drink brought to me by these folks, I needed that after somebody taking my shit. So in a small capacity of that, shit can happen, and it did happen to me. Now, to further expand on that, we all volunteered. And we knew to an extent that we were all having each other's back. We don't know if somebody in the event staff was a part of like one of the posters getting robbed, where they told like a friend who was at the venue, hey, come here at this time and nobody will be here and you'll probably be able to walk off with some shit and we'll figure it out later. I'm not saying that happened. And to take it even further, now let's think about...
I mean, that could be anybody. That could be people just walking out the door.
It could, but I'm saying, like, I also, to me, this isn't paranoia. This is me not necessarily casing a joint, but reading the room and memorizing every detail of it to make sure of what can happen, because that's good security. You should kind of know what's going on, and I was paying attention to these people, but we don't know the person behind the mask, where you had at least 50 or 60 different staff that weren't a part, like you had mentioned this, they weren't a part of the Skank crew. They were different companies. And these people who live in the cities, I'm not going to say that they're bad people, but you never know if one of these people might be the type of person that likes to keep an eye on certain people, and then they watch you and pay attention to you, and people were stalked, and somebody did get the shit beaten out of them and robbed, if you remember, down in the French Quarter.
No, that's what I was gonna say, because like I was saying, the venue's fine, but when you leave the venue, you need to be in a group. Being from here and stuff, I knew I was vulnerable walking by myself out there. I was aware when a crew would signal other people in the crew when I would walk like on Bourbon Street and stuff like that. You know, like I told you, I ended up buying some lady on the street some dinner and stuff, and went in a convenience store and got some chicken. Couldn't even use the bathroom there and stuff. But
which I was surprised my rental didn't get vandalized or anything. You know, how risky was that, going down to the fucking French Quarter and parking in a 2025 rental, and then walking around by myself, going to like Barely Legal and shit. But I'm from Detroit, so
you can park your cars down in New Orleans fine and nothing like it.
No, I definitely saw somebody with their shit busted out while I was there. That was like kind of surreal.
Like, don't get me wrong, they're gonna break into cars and stuff, but they're just not gonna run through breaking all the windows and stuff like that.
Right. You know, it's not a joyride type
It's
thing
it's
where every
it's
window's
it's
got to
more
go.
of it's more of, like I said, the groups of people working, like you were talking about. The one guy got robbed because what had happened was a girl came up to give him a shot, and he took a shot from a drink girl, and then he started to get dizzy, and another girl comes up, and then I think they had took him off or something like that, and he said he woke up. After that, he had woke up like somewhere, and all his shit was gone.
I
But
think part of the story he didn't have pants or something. They took his
yeah,
pants.
he was pants too. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're with a friend, something like that, and that's why I didn't hang out. Like I went to where the after party was, and it wasn't popping off yet. So
Yeah.
I just went back to my room and went to sleep. Like I had an old man Skankfest. I mean, my mom was dead at the time, and we hadn't even buried her yet. So it wasn't too much of a party for me. I was
That's why I
I
felt so
was
lucky
there.
that you were willing to even like fuck with me at all, man. You know, I won't go too deep in because I don't like to bring up a lot of personal shit, but because you brought it up, I appreciate when you did reach out to talk, and because you kept that shit close, you didn't let anybody know. But I'm glad that you did at least tell, somebody like, hey, I did have this. I got a lot going on. Because for you to be able to be there, that was probably the best thing you could do to work through it. Maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
sound correct to other people, but to be around a bunch of people and feel needed and necessary, yeah, that's what you need
No,
when something happens.
yeah, it was definitely what I needed because I was, yeah, life it's been real rough, but we do it to ourselves and stuff, and so you know,
It's about
it's,
finding the right people.
yeah,
Sometimes you gotta make a change. I don't know if I'm gonna stay here forever. You might see me down there, man. You never know. Sometimes you just gotta get on a certain path, and it's not supposed to be about battling on your own. That's where people got it twisted. A long time ago, things were a lot different and more solidarity, coming togetherness, but I don't think we're headed towards shantytown just yet. But brother, when I got in my car yesterday and saw that gas had jumped up $1, I don't want to say I panicked, but I thought to myself, this can't happen. This can't be the new reality.
oh yeah, oh
You
yeah, well,
can't
yeah, well,
can't be fucking serious. How are you gonna claim that we're running the straight or whatever? But
wait till
now
the
gas is at, $5 a gallon here. And I'm in a Cadillac, brother. I'm paying premium. So I'm over $6 a gallon. Just losing my shit. Like there's no way.
I
There's
mean,
no
I
way I
guess,
can keep it up.
I mean, they could end it at any time too. Like there was a they said
There's
let's
no
open
putting this
it.
fucking genie
They
back in
said
the
let's.
bottle.
Oh, they're not. I know they're not going to. That's what I said. They could, but they're not going to. It's just gonna get
I
worse.
don't think they could. I
And
think
so,
it's too late for could. I
well,
think
they
that
tried to open the strait back up, and it was rejected, and so and now see what's gonna happen. Like is that island reserve is almost filled up, and once that's filled up, then I don't want to get into it too much, but once that's filled up, then their money stops. They can't pump no
you're
more,
spitting
and
some
so
truth. I mean, Kurt
yeah.
Metzger's been talking about the same shit. He's been right about a
Yeah.
lot of it so far.
So
So,
like yeah, we've done endured it being closed at this point. So it's to a point. It's like well now it affects them worse. So now it's in our best interest to keep it closed, and so that's why they are like let's open it. And we're like nah, you know what? I think we're gonna keep it closed. So I
yeah.
mean and so yeah honestly the gas shouldn't even be anything. We have our own domestic gas, and so I
Well,
mean,
we're playing that leverage
I
game,
see
which
where
is
we're
annoying.
I see where we're exporting and stuff like that, and I don't know. I'm grateful to be down here where I'm at because it's a little cheaper around here, so that's one of
Yeah,
the benefit of living in the South and the Gulf Coast and stuff is our gas is a little cheaper.
yeah. I mean, some places do have it made. You don't even have to go far south. When I was living in Arizona, that shit was a cakewalk. Everything was cheap out there. I was paying $2.42 for a gallon of premium, and I was happy to do it. I was happy to do it with a smile on my face, filling my car up for like 20, 25 bucks. Just smiling, bopping tunes, riding at like 9 o'clock at night through the desert, crossing over into Nevada, going through the fucking Cal Navari area, which is just like turns and hills and shit, man. Going to Havasu sometimes. I miss that shit. I want to go back out there. I really do. There's like this part of my soul that tells me, yeah, it was tough and, it might not be easy, but I kind of want to go, And I haven't been out there in so long. I'm worried about my car, but at the end of the day, you can't let every little worry stop you from taking a chance, and eventually you run out of options anyway, man. So you got to make a break. And,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out, I know I don't want to be here anymore. And I have it good. I have it pretty good where I'm at. But it's not about being comfortable. I'm willing to put up with a little discomfort if it would mean something fun or exciting. That's why I can't wait to go back to Skank. It gives me a reason to travel. I get to go be around my people. Like you said, help provide a fucking amazing time. And there's so many people I can't wait to see again. Especially you. I have a whole plan laid out for us, dude. I really do. We're going to be partying for a week. So you need to really get prepared, and whatever you need to do to like prepare for that week of just, we won't go insanely overboard, but we will at the same time. Like it's very important that I'm not pissing my time away. I'm trying to have fun. I've already been thinking about set aside a little New Orleans nest egg because I want to have some decent money. It's not like I was broke, but I definitely was pressed a little bit. My financial institution made a mistake, and I had to fucking figure it out while I was at the car rental place, which nobody wants to do that. That makes you look fucking broke. And it's like, I'm not broke. They just fucked with my money for some reason. And it eventually got straightened out. But, when people aren't picking up phones and then it's just a waste of time. I wanted to be exploring the city, not being stuck. Then your phone dies, so you got to go charge it. And it just, one little thing after another instead of it being as easy as it should be. So it's like, now I'm probably thinking about, I won't take a flight. I think I'll just drive down in the caddy. Like, that's my game plan. I don't know if there's a different way to do it. Because it's like, yeah, I know that's whatever, but that's kind of what I want to do. It'd be fun. Then I can make sure I have transportation for you. I'm pretty sure Vandal's going to be hanging.
I got my car there.
Oh, you're driving your car?
Yeah, I got a sad little clown car, Ford Focus.
Oh, because you have ADD?
Huh?
Because you have ADD.
Yeah.
That's why you drive a Focus, because you have ADD.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I know how corny that is. I had to, man.
I knew I was missing it. I'm like,
I do a lot of corny ass shit. My family will be like, guess what? And I will immediately follow up with chicken butt. And I know I'm a grown ass man, but I'm going to be doing that when I'm an old ass man. I'll be 70 and somebody's going to be like, guess what? Chicken butt? It's going to happen. I'm not going to be boring and lame and stale. I know some people think you have to transition, but no thanks. I'm not trans. I'm going to stay true to myself and be real.
So, speaking of jokes and stuff, you mind if I talk about what inspired me to come and work with the Skanks and everything? Is Ari. I've always been a big fan of Ari. Uh,
And
I
I do
mean,
want you to talk about this because, yeah, like, not to
so
interrupt you on some Kanye shit, but if I haven't made it clear, I brought Shane on because this was the dude I enjoyed hanging out with and working with at the event. Out of all the people there, this was the guy who, when I didn't want to be around nobody else, I went and hung out with Shane. That's who I was kicking it with when I was done, burnt
well,
out.
thank
Not
you,
even burnt
brother.
out, but like, this was my down brother when I was at Skank. So, if anybody I'm looking forward to working with again and being at the venue, it's this motherfucker. So yeah, let it rip. I definitely want to hear this story.
Thank you, brother. So, I had just seen so many clips from Ari and him coming out with half of his face and head shaved and stuff. And I have to shave. I'm bald headed too. So for work, I got to shave and everything. And for a couple times, I had would do half my face and head, and then I do the other half. And I don't know, after
Nice.
like 4 or 5 times, just the intrusive thoughts were too much. And I just gave in, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's see what happens." so,
Yeah.
so to give a little bit of the setting to the story, I work at the nicest casino in Biloxi. Um, it's a real honor to work there, and so I'm gotta wear a suit and tie. It's the weekend and everything, and I dress up and put my monkey suit on, but I go in with half of my head and half of my face shaved. Now, to be fair, it's a light drizzle. It's not a Ari beard. It's just it was time for me to shave because it had been about a week, and it's my head and my face.
Yeah.
So
Keeping up with the Joneses, brother. I get it.
so I go in, and my boss, the guy that hired me, is also bald headed. He's an awesome dude, and we just have a different sense of humor, especially on this situation, I guess, on this topic. And
Which is
so
odd. Do you think bald people would
you
all be the same? But I
think the
guess not.
bald guy, he's the only one that didn't laugh, the only one. And so I come in, and I'm at my station doing my job at the casino, and he comes up behind me, and he notices my hair. That's why he came and took a step behind me. We were working. He didn't notice it at first from the front because, like I said, it was kind of modest. It wasn't a heavy beard or whatever. But I donned the Shafir, as I called it. So he goes, "What's wrong with your hair? Did your razor die or something?" And I turn around, and now to sell this, I can't laugh. If I laugh, I got to go home. He's pissed off, and I'm leaving immediately if I crack a fucking smile. So I dead ass turn around, and I'm like, "Look, I don't have very many options for hair. So I'm doing what I can. I want to have a hairstyle, and this is it for me. It's called the Shafir," is what I told him. And so he just looks at me. He doesn't laugh, and he's just like, "I don't think this is going to work," and turns around and walks away. And so I go back to doing my job, and a couple hours later, his boss, our boss, the bigger boss, comes through, and she looks up at me with this face, and she's like, "So what's going on with your hair? Is your razor dyed or something?" And I go, I explained this to the other boss. I was like, this is the hairstyle I want to have. I was like, this is, I don't, like I told him, I don't have very many options and I want to do something. Everyone up here is bald headed. There's a high percentage of bald headed dudes. I'm like, so I want to do something. And she goes, I just think this is too extreme. I don't think this is gonna work, and then walks away.
Which is such bullshit, because it's like everybody can't just be Steve Harvey or Walter White. That's not fair. You have to let people have some fucking personality, man. I mean, when did this happen? Was this happening during the Biden administration? I'm just curious.
I don't know, possibly. It was right after 24 Skankfest. Before it was after 24, before 25, and so
I'm just saying, like, that's not very DEI.
So,
we're in this era of DEI. Shouldn't they be like, that's awesome,
well,
Shane, do it more?
I knew with the verbiage that she handed me that she had went back and read the manual and had what she was going to write me up on if I didn't comply with what she was telling me.
Damn.
But she didn't tell me to shave it. She just told me that she didn't think it was going to work. So the next day I shaved the other half again and left the other half, let it become a little bit more, grew out. And so I came back in the next day. The next day, my awesome boss that hired me, who's been a great boss, that just, like I said, doesn't think this was funny, the only person up there, comes up and he goes, "What are you doing?" He's dumbfounded. What are you doing? And I just and I said, I can't laugh, and I'm just like, look, I told you I want to have a hairstyle, so this is what I'm doing. And he's like, this isn't gonna work. And then so he walked off. Oh no, before he said that though, I was thinking on my way in, because I knew on my way in, I was like, they're gonna make me shave it today. This is the day. They might send me home. You know what I mean? They might send me home and say, I know they're not going to fire me. You know what I mean? But they might make me leave and go shave. We're going to see. But this is the last hurrah for this joke. And so I go back in with it. And on my way in, I'm like, I'm going to buy a cheap toupee from Amazon. I'm going to get the cheapest toupee I can find. And that's what I'm going to wear. And
How much did it cost?
$10.
Okay.
And so maybe $6 if it was on sale. And so whenever he tells me I don't think this is gonna work, I go, I was thinking about wearing a cheap toupee. I told him cheap. I was thinking about, and he goes, I wouldn't let you wear a cheap toupee in here.
That's also not DEI. Hey, man, that's fucked up.
That's my boss.
No, that's a lawsuit right there. You can tell me I can't put a piece of fucking something on my head?
No.
I would have really bowed up on him, like, what if I'm ashamed of my fucking chrome dome? Maybe I'm not as proud as you every day coming in here with a spit shine like Mr. Clean. Maybe I want to have some dignity with some fucking hair. And,
shout out to my boss's bald head. He shaves that motherfucker every day, and I am just not that motivated.
That bitch, man.
I might hit that shit. I might hit my head twice a week. I'm gonna shave that shit, but I'm not shaving every day like them slick heads, And shout out to the slick heads. Like y'all are some hard working motherfuckers. Like so anyway. My boss decides to pull me in the office. Not him. He, like I said, he tells me it's not going to work and walks away. And he tells me he's not going to let me wear the cheap toupee. So, 15, 30 minutes, an hour later, they pull me in the office. And then the boss, she tells me, she goes, she hands me the handbook printout of extreme hair, no extreme hairstyles is what it says.
Yeah.
And the first thing I say when she hands that to me is I look at the other boss and I go, I thought we were in the entertainment industry.
Right.
If that's how you want to entertain people, you can go work next door. You can go back to working next door. And I said, that's not necessary. I said, no, thank you. I like working here. So they get to, explaining, I got to shave my head. I can't wear it. It's extreme. And then I tell the one boss, I said, well, well, he won't even let me wear a cheap toupee in here. And she goes, I'll let you wear it. I'll let you wear a toupee. And as soon as she told me that, I'm just thinking, yes.
It was a victory for toupees everywhere.
Oh my God. And so for the next month, I'm telling all these dealers I work with, like, Toupee Tuesday's coming. Like, just wait. I'm bringing a
Tacos
toupee
and
in here.
toupees.
I'm coming in here with a toupee. And after about a month, I ordered one of them, and it got there. And so the first day I had it in my pocket. I hadn't even put it on yet. And one of the dealers had just shaved his head as an Asian dealer, and it was a black toupee. And it matched his head perfect. And so he goes,
Oh my God.
he's not even in my section either. He's in the next section over, but he's one table over. He goes, hey, Shane. And he's not dealing to nobody. They're about to open the section. He goes, hey, did you bring the toupee in today? I said, yeah. He goes, let me see it. And I gave it to him, and he threw it on his head. Well, then some people come and sit down at his table. He starts dealing the cards out, and he's dealing to them with my toupee on and stuff. And so I go back to my section, and I'm working. I let it go about 15, 20 minutes. They get used to him with the toupee. I walk over there while he's dealing, and I grab the toupee, and with this exaggerated, like, aggravated look, rip the toupee off his head and put it on my head, and then straighten it up, and then, like, move it all in circles and stuff. And then I walk back to my section, and then I wear it for like a minute or two, and then I walk back over to him, and then I slide it back on his head and adjust it, and then I walk back and leave it, and I let him wear it till we like go on break or whatever. I might have came and took it back. Yeah, I think I come back. Yeah, I took it back, and then
That's so fucking funny.
And then so I did that for a couple Tuesdays, but what got it shut down was the one boss that didn't like it. Everybody was having a great time. The guests were loving it. I had people that had toupees on giving me shout outs like, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up, brother? How y'all doing? And shit. It was awesome. Nobody didn't like it except for the one. And so what finally shut it down was one day I had got a second toupee. It was one of the Toupee Tuesdays, and we were in the break room, and another one of the Asian dealers shaved his head, and he goes, we were in there, and I tell him, I say, oh, put this on when you go back out there, and if they ask you anything, tell them that you really regretted shaving your head. And that as soon as you did it, that you realized it was a mistake. So you have this toupee now, and that you want to wear that. And so he goes back on the floor. I go back on the floor. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The boss, the same boss, comes up. He goes, "Did you give that dealer that toupee to wear?" And I looked him in the face and I said, "That was a community toupee." I ended with that. I said, I left that toupee in the break room for anyone that wanted to wear it. That was a community toupee. And so he turned and walked away. And so where we're at with the toupee policy is he hit me with a serious note and was like, look, you can't keep wearing this toupee in here. You have to wear a real toupee.
You already told you can. I don't understand.
Well, out of respect, I don't.
Where's your respect?
I don't.
They're not respecting you, man. You're bringing some life to the place.
That's my boy. Hey, look, that's well, there you go. He's not respected the comedy, and we can agree he doesn't respect the game.
Yeah,
so
man,
where I'm at now, I'll just have to take a piece of Velcro and glue that to my head because I'm not gluing a whole fucking toupee to my head. I can't wear toupees.
Insane, man.
Can't wear toupees at work now.
Who will let a brother live? I don't understand.
But shout out, thank you for the inspiration, Ari. I couldn't have had Toupee Tuesday if fucking you wouldn't have did that half face, and I wouldn't have came in with my own half face and shit like that.
I'm just so confused. They're acting like you're a fucking child predator because you're wearing a toupee, and it's insane, man. Like, you're not Osama bin Laden. You're just a guy.
I was entertaining. I was doing too good. You can't have too good of a time because it's work. And I mean,
Maybe that's what it actually was, Shane. Maybe he
that's
didn't
the
like
bottom
that you were
line.
showing him up. You were showing him up, and he didn't like it. He was like, this motherfucker looks better than me. He's coming in here, we're both bald, and he thinks he can do some fucking half-beard shit on my watch, and now I gotta look like the boring bald guy? Fuck you. Not at my job. I didn't work here for 20 years and throw my whole life away so that I could let some fucking punk come outdo me and my bald-headed ass. Oh, I'm sorry. You pearl-clutching motherfucker. You pearl-clutching motherfucker. He's on the Titanic like, it's been 84 years since I've seen a toupee. And then this hooligan with his fucking $6 Amazon. Just let it go, man. Get over it. It's not a big deal.
It didn't kill at Skankfest. You know what I mean? Like, I wore it.
Oh, it was great.
Nobody said nothing.
I did. That's bullshit. I did. I'm sorry. I'm not somebody, but I definitely said something, motherfucker.
Thank you, brother.
I remember laughing pretty hard at the toupee, at the toupeesy. So, yeah, you ain't gonna fucking. Yeah, you ain't gonna X-File me, dude. I remember that shit. Trust me.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Shout out to Lewis for throwing that for wearing that on stage in Long Beach too. That was awesome. Like when he came through before Skankfest, that was really cool.
That's what's cool about you, man. You have a lot of stories and connections, and you know it's good to have people in that sphere. I think I might pitch you to come on. Because Dave and we were talking about it on last week's episode. There's gonna be, because I did it, I think I texted you the link, but Dalton did like a Skankfest recap on Cornfed, and I went on and talked about how I was backstage for Chubby, and I pissed a couple people off because you remember Aiden, right? The dude with the really cool hair that was like shaved down. He had like pink and green hair. He was one of the big bosses. It's okay if you don't.
I know.
That motherfucker, he was walking around with like a Yoshi egg for hair. It was really cool. I complimented him on the show. I was like, dude, you look badass.
Oh, okay. I might remember. Was it like? Did he have like? It was red or blondish red hair.
I'm telling you, it had like pink and green and shit. It was cool.
Oh yeah,
he looked hella cool, bro. And but Aiden,
but
he was
like
nice
dreads,
enough to.
He was dreads and he had it up like that, huh?
No,
like
no, it was all shaved down.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He was like, he did a lot of the technical stuff for all of the other rooms. Like, he was nice enough to let me hang out backstage during Chubby, and there were a couple people, which I'm not gonna say their name. You and I have talked about it off the pod in the past. That like, hopefully there aren't people that are mad at me from the volunteers. Because it's not like all stories end well. I remember having to sit a motherfucker down at the, I was at the strip club, and he, like, walked up to my spot, and I had to sit down and talk to him about, like, yeah, you kind of hosed before broed me, and I don't dislike you, but maybe this is as far as we go. And it's tough to do that, right? You don't want to have that conversation with another grown man. But when somebody's pushing the point and you're just trying to look at some titties and pussy, and the next thing you know, some guy is trying to talk about their feelings, which, look, I'm in touch with my feelings too. I'm not trying to shit on anybody. And if he ever took the time to listen to this, like if it ever got back to him, brother, I don't hate you either. I'll let you know right now. You know, your homie whooped some ass during the fights. I was happy to record that. Like, I had a really good time kicking it with you. I enjoyed going to breakfast with you at Mother's and shit. It's not about that. But when I see you do something where I didn't tell about, I'm never going to talk about any of it, but one of the stories there was like, I had some shit happen where, I'm not going to say the IDF was after me, but I definitely felt like there were, you know, going back to that previous point I made, you know, just because you're working the event as like part of the catering team or as a part of the custodian team, doesn't mean that you don't have a network of people because you've lived there for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And like, we're all just a bunch of dumb yuppies from the outside who you look at and see who's the most dumb out of all with the most like opportunity to gain, which isn't wrong. Like, it's not inherently wrong to be opportunistic with stuff like that, but you definitely see the people who are like, they're not just there to serve you food, they're there to profile you and figure out if you're worth keeping an eye on you to let somebody else know eventually, like, hey, see what you can do. Because it felt like I had some eyes on me that I didn't want to have on me. It made me uncomfortable. And then, like, you get put into a situation, Shane, where you think somebody's cool. And, like, imagine if somebody did, like, some really weird shit to you, bro. And then I go up to that person and I'm just like, yeah, let me get your number and blah, blah. And I'm not saying people can't make their own decisions. But if you know somebody just did some insane shit to somebody, if I have any fucking respect, I'm gonna take that with 2 grains of sand, and I'm probably not gonna, especially in front of you, be like, oh yeah, let's chop it up. I'm probably gonna say like, I'm good. Just because I'm not losing anything, and I'd rather not make you feel like you're not fucking valid in your shit, because I just don't want to get involved in it. If somebody gives me a warning about shit, it's like, I'm not just gonna take your advice. But if the moment I interact with somebody, I can tell that there's like a weirdness, I know better. And I've made mistakes by not listening to people, thinking that they're wrong, or maybe it's just them. Where no, sometimes shit is poison, and if you go in it, you're fucked. And this person did exactly that. They interacted with somebody where they did something that made me very uncomfortable at the event. And if you want to be cool with that person and take that risk, right on, man. That means that it's not a good move on my part to go any further with you as a person. Not because you're bad and not because you're good, because it's not good for me. And I don't want too many people to be ruffled or, you know, bent all out of shape or get a bad impression if I'm, you know, I want to have nothing but good times this year with people, because that's really what I care about. But you can see, just like you had talked about a little bit, there were some people there that didn't really appreciate what was going on. They were complaining about shit or finding reasons to, you know, be argumentative instead of saying like, holy shit, there's Shane Gillis. Holy fuck. There's, you know, like, instead of being happy, people finding reasons to bitch about shit is so, like the water guy. Like, you're not a fag, but you are a fag. That's the lamest shit that you can worry about at Skank. Like, homie, just go not be a fag. Right, yeah, like, that's admirable. That's the only reason why, like, I didn't go harder on him, because it's like, at least you had the balls to double down on your stupid-ass bullshit, and, like...
But I still did my best to use my skills to remedy that situation for that dude that paid all that money. Because he was about to walk out the door pissed off. And be like,
he needed daddy to hold his hand and show him that it was going to be okay, and you did just that. You're like, yep, it's okay, buddy.
It's like, no, you're not complaining, even though you are literally complaining.
Let's get you all tucked in, man. Let's get you your baba and get you all tucked in, man.
That's pretty much the end. I was like, so you okay? You all right? Have a good one.
Just take your fucking baba and shut up.
Yeah, my job's literally like telling people, like, you can't talk to we almost, it gets rough in the casinos having to monitor.
It's a different beast. I've been in that environment
behavior
too.
When they're drinking and losing large amounts of money. Like,
if you've never had to get an alcohol awareness card in your life, then you have no clue what the fuck Shane and I are talking about right now. But yeah, there's levels to this shit, people.
You go tell somebody that just lost $1,000 on one hand of blackjack that they can't say fuck. Try that one.
Or tell somebody that just lost 20 grand in the pit. Tell that guy that just lost 20 grand in the pit that he can't take his car, even though he's been drinking.
Yeah,
See how that fucking plays out.
tell that dude with 20,000 in front of him that just lost 1,000 a hand that went fuck, and everyone in the casino looked at him. And now you got to go tell him, hey man, you can't yell fuck like that. And then he's gonna go blah blah blah. Well, then it get, you know what I mean? There's just ways to handle it, but that's
Oh yeah.
it's dealing
No,
with
some
people.
some
Though.
people are fucking way
Yeah,
too, you know.
but it's getting cussed out for a living, though, is what it is.
Yeah. And that's the problem with the people who they don't mean anything by it, and you should be able to exist without it turning into a fucking concentration camp. But it's not about whether you care if that guy's saying fuck. It's about you know that the person above you who likes to be an asshole and twist the knife into you, they're going to use it as an excuse to bitch at you. It's going to be justification to say, wow, Shane, look at what a fucking piece of shit job you're doing. You're letting this guy get away with this shit on my fucking floor, and you think you're going to work here? And that's the bullshit that we all have to do the dance of, where these people don't even have the fucking, you know, the heart to understand anything anymore. They're so detached from the situation that it's beyond them. They're incapable. They may have at one point been you, but they will never understand how to be you again because they lost that part of themselves. And yeah, you can't fight that battle endlessly. Some people you gotta know when to let go and say, man, fuck you and fuck this, and I'm in control of my shit, you know.
Oh yeah, I had a moment like that. One of my favorite work moments. I was a bar back at the time,
Nice.
and they had just it was at a different major casino, and I was 20 and emancipated actually, and
That's a good time to bar back. You make good money even though it's tough work.
yeah, I was on day shift, and they had just changed management, and for whatever reason, one of the assistant managers took a shot at me and pulled me in the office with the new beverage manager that didn't know me at all. Like, hey, welcome, how nice to meet you. And the assistant manager goes, look, you're just not the same employee that we hired. He goes, you just don't. He goes, you don't do the same job, you know, that you did when we hired you. And then I quit listening after that. And then when he got through talking, I said, look, I still remember what I did. How old am I? This is 28 years ago, 26 years ago. I still remember this shit word for word. I told him, I said, look, I clock in on time. I do what you ask when you ask. If you don't like the job I do here, I'll clock out right now and leave. And that manager looked at him and looked at me and he goes, do you even want to work here? I said, I love my job here. I don't know why I'm up in this office right now. He looked back up. That supervisor looked at me, said, go back to work. That never bothered me again.
Sometimes you gotta lay it out on the line with motherfuckers. They think that they have all the power because they've never seen no shit in life. And sometimes you have seen the bigger picture, so you're not gonna get little homied by somebody. And yeah, I'm not afraid anymore to tell people, I get that you have power in this little place where we play house together, but these made up fantasy rules are nothing compared to the rules of the United States of America. And if you can't give me a legal command, there's FLSA protections that prohibit you from thinking you can treat me any way you want and use the job as a weapon or vehicle to commit that abuse. You don't just get to be a boss somewhere and say, oh, well, because the company wants this, well, let's make sure the company wants this. Is this the correct interpretation? And yes, I'm allowed to critique you and be concerned for that because I also exist within this entity. You don't get to challenge or question me because that's not, diversity and inclusion and all that shit. That's discrimination. You're supposed to respect people when they work there as equals, give people a chance to contribute things. If you're not, you should not be in power. You should be scrubbing shit out of the sewers with the rest of the fucking world of people who actually deserve to be doing that instead of the people who have good hearts and souls that go and clean up all of our garbage as if they're worse than us. Those should be the fucking millionaires, man. Now,
Yeah.
we're going on the 2 hour mark, and I got to cut it out here. Do you have anything that you want to plug before we wrap this up, Shane?
No, if anybody wants to see any of my work with ball pythons, they can find me on Instagram at Garner Genetics. I'm on Facebook, Shane Garner.
That's where they can make the purchases too, right?
Uh, No, I'm on Morph Market as well. So yeah, there's a website called Morph Market, and my store, Garner Genetics, is there on Morph Market. You can go on Instagram and find a link to my Morph Market. It is on my Facebook as well, and you can contact me directly. I can, if you're just interested in having a ball python as a pet and you have
Yeah.
questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. It's one of the easiest pets that you can ever own, and it's really cool.
And the pythons are beautiful. All the pictures you've shown me, everything that you have, it's pretty impressive. The collection, I'm very impressed, dude.
Thank you. It's living art, and you have to know what genes mix with what and what they do, what complements what, and but no matter what animal I make, and whether it has the most coolest pattern or not, or it's just a pattern that I'm gonna get a couple dollars for selling at a pet store.
You never know what people are gonna like too. Some people are looking for
every
something different.
Well, I was just going to say every one of those animals is a living creature, and I respect the privilege it is to deal with that life, and
Yeah. You do it
that's
humanely. That's why I want people to support you if you're looking for something exotic. Check Shane out. He's one of the people that I would actually support. If he does a promo code or something for me down the line, I'll be sure to throw it out here. But go pay him. They're worth what he's asking for.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you a discount. Mention this show, and I give you a good deal. I did just whatever. If you've been thinking about getting a snake, and you got a couple extra dollars, I'll get you one.
But if you're a shitty owner, we don't want you. We only want good owners. So it ain't just about having the money, motherfucker. You got to be able to, take care of the animal, please. Okay.
Yeah, that is it. Because when you purchase an animal with me, that comes with lifetime instructions and care for the animal. So you can always reach out to me, and at any time people can resurrender. Yeah, at any time they could resurrender the animal to me if they decide it's not for them. Then I'm more than happy to they can ship the animal right back to me. I can explain, the way that I got it shipped to them, and it's actually a very easy, interesting process how these animals are easily shipped next day, overnight, across the United States. And it's what really got me into the hobby. At first, I got one, and I made sure it was local in the same state, and then I got one that was in the same region in Atlanta. And then next, I finally got one that was all the way up in like Wisconsin, and it always will either arrive the next day, the next day that they ship it, or the day after, and it's no harm on the animal at all. It's just minimal stress on them, but it doesn't do any kind of health issues whatsoever. They actually used to ship people back with the post office in the 20s. I don't know if you remember this or not, or you're aware of this, but they used to stick a stamp on people and send them. So,
Hobo Express.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that what's getting sent is being sent with care and done right, and that's the important thing.
So, guys, make sure you reach out to Shane for more information. I really appreciate everybody who checked out this episode, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much, and later.
Thank you.